I read Anthropic's article on managed agents, and the idea that stayed with me was this: the AI agents, they were making me rethink architecture. It's not in a dramatic, everything is dead kind of way, more like I'm starting to notice how many assumptions we bake into the software that we make. And one big assumption is that users will interact with our systems through a user interface, clicking, typing, scrolling, navigating screens. But with agents, that may not always be the main path. Sometimes the user, we don't know if the user is a person or if it's going to be an agent. That agent might be connecting through an API, an MCP server, or some tool interface, right? And I felt this in my own workflows. I use coding agents, but I still babysit them a lot of the time. So why do I babysit them? Because I've seen them lose context. I've seen them get stuck. They retry weird things, and they can start doing what I would call agentic gymnastics. You've heard about JavaScript gymnastics. You're going to be introduced into agentic gymnastics. The article here, it talks about, let's see, this article talks about whoops. Mm-hmm. The article talks about separating the brain, the hands, and the session. That clicked for me because I still keep too much of that context trapped in like the chats with Codex, Cloud Code, GBT, local machines, like in my work computer, my personal computer, my Windows machine. It's always trapped in those machines. The diagrams in even if I try to put things in Notion, Obsidian, Excalidraw, Miro boards, like it's always like somewhere, and in Jira tickets and in one-off workflows. So the lesson I'm taking with this is so the model, the LLM, is not the whole product, right? The value is moving toward the data, the infrastructure, the permissions, the interfaces, and so that's like too many things. I just want to say that the value is moving toward the data and how it interacts with other data that is inside your own ecosystem. And honestly, I'm still figuring this out, but I'm trying to design less for today's UI only for I'm trying to design honestly, I'm still figuring this out, but I'm trying to design less for the UI only world that we have today and more for systems that the future agents can actually use. And this is where the analogy of pets versus cattle comes in the article. They use that analogy, and it's that pets is when you have a system, is when you have a workflow that if it breaks in a specific way, you have to nurse it back into health. So you start to get familiar with its quirks, the things that it likes, what breaks it, what doesn't like, and you're afraid to restart this pet. Instead, if you have a cattle, which is what I would say is like having the context decoupled from the operation, the thing that is running the operations, you can just discard and recreate from a known recipe. Okay. One tool that has been really useful for this is the Hermes. So you can run, if you use OpenClaw can be like the muscle, and then you can run an agent called Hermes on top of OpenClaw. So Hermes is like an agent that learns from you, learns from itself, from the things that it is doing, it updates itself, and then it delegates the manual work to OpenClaw. That is a new way of working that I'm trying out, and I'll let you know how that works. Let's see what other slides we have here. Oh, this one is kind of ugly. Okay, I'm gonna drop the video here, and I want to keep on sharing more about this. So follow me in my Instagram, follow me on my YouTube, and we'll see each other around. Bye. Have a happy weekend.